up, I should say, because at the top it's people walking. And there's a very big and consequential difference between these light mobility modes. There are those modes that are active, those modes that require human input, and there are very good things that come from that because physical activity generates benefits that go beyond just the mobility, just beyond the transport function. And then there are those modes that are passive but still generate value. And these are going to be things like powered light mobility that goes from the throttled e-bike, the kind of e-bike you can throttle but you don't have to pedal to go places, and all the way down to car-like mobility. Now, this is, when we talk about electromobility in particular, this is not what we generally think about. We think about electromobility replacing large cars that run on fossil fuel with large cars that run on large and heavy batteries. And from our perspective, that's not the most successful use case for electromobility today. In fact, only about 2 to 3% of all electric vehicles in the world are electric cars. Most of them are light mobility vehicles. And of course, most of them are in China and India. But we know they are coming. We know electric bicycles are already here. And we know that we'll see smaller and smaller vehicles. And there's a real benefit from that, both on the energy aspect here. We calculated what is the amount of energy that, how much more efficient are some of these modes than a small, in this case, a Fiat 500 electric car. Of course, cycling is the most efficient. Not electric cycling, cycling. Walking is the next most efficient, but you can see all the way coming down to the microcar that every one of these modes is more efficient than a small electric car. But more importantly, on the right, you see how much of that energy is actually used to carry the person or the payload. And so, of course, a walking person, as I'm doing right now, I'm carrying all of my weight. But a small electric car, only 5% of that energy is going to carry the payload, which is, in this case, one person driving the car. So there are huge efficiencies that come from this. So that is realigning our thinking. What is the possibility that we can achieve our vision using some of these innovations and some of these disruptive innovations?